Hi everybody, my name is Wendy and welcome to Full Body Stretch. So today we're going to move through a series of different stretches for our body. Some of them will be dynamic, some of them will be static. So some of them will be moving through our stretches and then we'll be holding some as well. So we'll get a little bit different movements for our body. So we're actually going to start at the back of our mat. You don't need any other equipment other than a mat or a carpeted area. You don't even have to have a mat if you're on carpet. A towel, a blanket, something that might be a little bit of cushion for you, especially if you're on a hard surface, you will probably want that as well. So if you're not there now, go ahead and move to the back area of your mat. I'm gonna move over here to mine really quickly. So from here, what we're gonna do, inhale, arms up nice and tall. Big stretch, just a full body stretch here. Fingertips reach as high as you can, wiggle those toes, exhale, hands come down. Inhale, arms up, full body stretch again. Big reach, a little bit higher if you can. Bring the shoulder blades and shoulders down with the fingertips lift. Exhale, arms down. This time we change slightly. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, we hinge at the hips and dive down forward. So now just spending just a moment here. Maybe you bend one knee, bend the other. You might want to bend both knees. That's okay. On your next inhale, we reverse that dive back up. So arms are up overhead. Big stretch, shoulders are down, fingertips lift. Exhale down, all the way back down to that forward fold area here. Once we're here, spending just a moment, bending those knees as much as you need to find that connection between your belly and your thighs. Drop that head, let it hang. Inhale and exhale. Wiggling those toes, finding a good base for those feet here. On your next inhale, we're going to walk those hands out towards a plank position. So once we're here, feel free to drop those knees down if you need to, or you can keep them extended. From here, we're going to lift our hips on our inhale. Lift our hips. Push through the heels of the hands. Those feet can be shoulder width or maybe a little bit wider for right now. We bend one knee and then the other. This is our downward facing dog. So the head hangs between those arms. Hips lift a little higher. Belly's pulled in nice and tight. Think about lifting those inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Shifting that weight forward, back into that plank position. Hold it 1, 2, 3, and then on our inhale, we lift those hips again. Belly pulls high, inner thighs reach for the ceiling. Into our downward facing dog. Maybe we take a moment, we walk out our dog, push one heel down, then the other. So here we are stretching a lot of things at one time. Through our shoulders, our hamstrings, our calves, our backs. On your next exhale, shift that weight forward, back into that plank. Or if you're going to drop down onto those knees, we're going to take our right foot and bring it up by our right hand here. So now we're moving into our modified runner's lunge. Option, we're going to keep that back toe tucked for right now. So option, everybody's going to keep that back knee down, back toe tucked, pulling that belly up towards our spine, pushing through those hands. If you need a little bit to be a little bit higher, you can come up, make little tents with those hands. You can reach it up a little higher. From here, drop those hips down a little bit closer towards the mat. Straightening out that back nice and flat. Finding something out in front of you to put your gaze on. So as we stretch, we never want anything to be painful. If it's uncomfortable, that's okay. But if there's anything painful, please remember to listen to your body. Back out of that stretch for just a little while. All right, so from here, we're going to switch from a hip stretch here to more of a hamstring stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk those hands back, straightening that front leg until you find that stretch in your hamstring. So it might not be very far. You may not have to stretch that leg all the way. You may have to go all the way back where your hips are on your back heel. Whatever you need, hold it here, take a breath. And then we walk those hands back out. Find our nice little runner's lunge here. And then moving at your own pace, walking those hands back and forward, finding a stretch, pausing for at least 2 or 3 breaths, and then walking those hands back forward. If you would like another option, you can always pick up that back knee. So now we're in that full expression of the runner's lunge. When I walk back, my back foot stays exactly where it is. I straighten out my front leg. Maybe if I need a little more, I need to lift those front toes. My back is still nice and straight, nice and tight. And then I bend that knee, come back forward. Whatever you need. Remember, back knee can be up or back knee can be down. Moving through one more of each and then meeting back in that runner's lunge. Once we're here, dropping that back knee down if it was lifted, taking that right foot back or right knee back down, left knee, or left foot, comes up to the left hand. Same thing on the opposite side. So we start with that basic modified runner's lunge. Back toe is tucked, back knee is down, hips lower down towards the mat. Back is nice and flat, shoulders are relaxed down and back. Belly's pulled in tight. Inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, we walk those hands back, straighten that front leg. If you want a little extra, you lift those front toes up, flex that foot. So now you should feel that stretch in the back of your front leg. Walk those hands back. Remember, you're moving at your own pace here, but pausing for at least 2 to 3 breaths at each spot. Remembering if you want that a little bit more advanced option, you pick up that back knee. Or if maybe you need a little bit more intense stretch, that's okay. Listen to your body today. Moving through one more of each. Meeting back in that runner's lunge, dropping that back knee. And then taking that left knee back to the right, sitting back on those heels for a child's pose. Taking just a moment here. Maybe that forehead finds the mat. Arms are outstretched overhead. If that doesn't feel great for your shoulders, you can always bring those hands back down by your side. And just take this as a recovery pose here. So if those hands are out overhead, take just a moment and walk those hands over to the right side of your mat. Keeping those hips square to the floor. Maybe you take your left hand on top of the right for a little bit more of a stretch here. Taking one more inhale, one more exhale. And then walking those hands to the left side of your mat. If you want a little more, take the right hand on top of the left. Push those hips towards the back wall. Extend those arms out. So here you should be feeling a stretch through your shoulders, through your back. Walking those hands back to the center, maybe stretching those fingertips just a little bit further. One inhale, one exhale. Then shifting that weight onto all fours. So shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips stacked over the knees. We take our right hand, we reach it up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, we lower it down. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, it lowers. One more time, we inhale, lift, and hold. So here, we have our weight centered on both knees. Arm fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. On our next exhale, we lower our hand, but we're going to thread it underneath our body until our shoulder finds the mat. So shoulder finds the mat, hips sit back towards our heels. Gives us a little bit more of a stretch. So with that left hand or that opposite hand that's not underneath your body, you can choose to keep it right where it is. You can choose to extend it out over your head, or you can bring it to that lower back. Whatever option works best for you here. Again, this should never feel painful for you. Maybe slightly uncomfortable, and that's okay. Taking 2 more breaths here. If that left arm's extended, bring it back underneath your shoulder. Push yourself up. Coming out of that stretch. For the next one, what we're going to do, left hand is going to inhale up and reach. And then we bring it down. I'm going to shift a little bit so that I don't face the wall here. But inhale, we reach it up. Exhale, we lower. Third time, we reach it up and hold it. On our exhale, we thread that arm underneath our body. Let that shoulder find the floor here. Right arm can reach overhead. Maybe it's behind you. Maybe it's on that lower back or right where you left it. Taking just a moment here, those hips fall towards the heels. Taking 2 more breaths. Then we bring that right hand back underneath the shoulder. We press ourselves up onto all fours. Whatever version of this works best for you, we're going to move to a seated position here. You want to find a spot on the mat so that whenever you lay down, you're going to be on your mat completely. So we are going to take it all the way down to our back. We're going to hug those knees into our chest. So from here, our knees are hugged into our chest. Our knees are next to each other. Our feet are not crossed. Heels, or our feet, our ankles, and our knees are touching each other, if we can. So we're going to pull those knees down towards the chest. And also, while we're here, I want you to think about pushing your hips down towards the mat and pushing your shoulder blades also down towards the mat. Reset that spine for the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, wherever you are. And then we release. Let those legs fall all the way flat. Those arms are actually going to reach up overhead for a full body stretch. We started with full body stretch. We end with full body stretch today. Arms reach up high. Shoulders stay down. Fingertips reach a little bit longer. You can either choose to point those toes or maybe flex those feet and push the heels back or down and back as far as possible. Exhale, we release. Give your body a little shake. And you are all done with our full body stretch today. I thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Wendy, and I encourage you to try any of our other on-demand classes or to hop in for our live classes that we have available via the Rec Sports app or our website. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Have a nice day.